Hello and welcome. This is going to be the Daily Dharma. Thank you so much for joining. I have done a pre-shuffle and I've got a couple of cards already showing themselves on the Tao Te Ching deck and the Art of War deck. And if you're checking out the gem features that we just started uploading today, we did Smoky Quartz and Moonstone. And for whatever reason, this one Sun Tzu quote came into the reading. So Sun Tzu said, "The art of war teaches us not to rely on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on our own readiness to receive him, not on the chance of his not attacking, but rather on the fact that we've made our position unassailable." So maybe there's a need to set a boundary or to step away from something, or to, there's something else I was thinking. Position unassailable. We'll get to it if it needs to come out. And on the back of the deck, it says you can't be friends with everyone. Friends do what they do because they're our friends and we love them. They do it because they know it's the right thing to do. But while some people can be our friends, others cannot. The difference is that friends can be inconvenient, annoying, troublesome, expensive, and taxing, but we will forgive them. And I believe on the back side of this card, we'll just bring that in. Sun Tzu says, "The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom." So interesting. I don't know if somebody's crossed a boundary or is being kind of put into their place. On the Tao Te Ching deck, under the deck, we have number 74. If you realize that all things change, there's nothing you'll try to hold on to. If you aren't afraid of dying, there's nothing you can't achieve. Trying to control the future is like trying to take the master carpenter's place. When you handle the master carpenter's tools, chances are you'll cut your hand. So it's giving that master's apprentice vibe, where I'm relating it to the Mickey Mouse in Fantasia, if any of you have seen that, where he puts on the Master Merlin's hat and begins to do some magic to get his chores done faster, and he animates a broom and it's carrying the water and doing things for him, and it gets out of hand. So I think that that's kind of a cute way to see this, but and it reminds me, maybe for some of us, there's somebody who's trying to do something, such as a child or a young person trying to get out there and make their way in the world, or trying to show themselves as having the capacity to do something. And if that's us, reaching out for a new beginning, trying to make a change in our lives, we can sometimes cut our hands as we learn how to do new things. But that's not only how we learn how to do it better and gain the skill, but we also kind of harden up the palm and build those calluses, maybe, to where we're not going to cut ourselves as easily. So coming of age, I don't know. 17. When the master governs, the people are hardly aware that he exists. Next best is a leader who is loved. Next, one who is feared. The worst is one who is despised. If you don't trust the people, you make them untrustworthy. The master doesn't talk, he acts. When his work is done, the people say, "Amazing, we did it all by ourselves." So perhaps you are the guide or the mentor or the parent, so to speak, in a situation. And there's perhaps this fine line of being accepted by our devotees or children in return. And we're all just looking for some type of belonging, approval, and to know that we have a niche or that we have a skill to develop. And it seems to me that if that individual is trying to do something, they're needing something. There's a need being exposed, even in ourselves. So letting somebody feel that they've accomplished something is a little bit of service work. But then on the flip side, for any of those that are having to set that boundary with other individuals, I've noticed that there are those who would, in a joint effort, I would say, that they are so ready to own all of the successes personally, and then any of the failures, they are so ready to point the finger. And it's not necessarily because they're evil individuals. Maybe they're intolerable and completely taxing, but we still love them. And it's bringing to mind maybe some, even, yes, children, I'll do it myself. And they can't do the thing, but so do you hover? No, you can't do it. Well, no, you don't want to tell somebody they can't do it. And in that same vein, it's reminding me of people who are becoming more elderly every day, as all of us are, let's be honest, but being able to see them with the fresh eyes of letting them have their own sense of healthy self-pride, and then also recognizing that that doesn't have to come at our expense. So it looks like that's the basis. I don't want to take those just yet. Let's get a shuffle in here. We didn't look at the bottom card. I think it was this one, Universal Love. It'll come off next. Flying out, we have empowerment, number 26. So this very well could be to do with somebody's attempts at empowering their self-belief or their skill set, or it can have to do with power dynamics that we're trying to work with. And let's just see where that goes. Number 44 is the Universal Love card, and 42, Tantric Journey. I feel like getting one more for 4 at the top. Consciousness. Okay. So it seems like for many, of course, this is, the collective is a big place. So there are those on all different places along this timeline. But it seems to me that somebody's looking for empowerment, and the person who is either the mentor, the teacher, the parent is trying to be this vessel of unconditional universal love. And I think that the two individuals are able to either harm or heal each other with the mojo and magic of their words, their actions, their time and energy, and the way that they're responding to each other. So the reason I brought up elderly earlier is, like, as the faculties begin their decline, it definitely is a prideful moment where people can no longer do the things that they really identified with. That was part of their identity. And what happens at the different stages of life where individuals are no longer able to identify in the way that they were, they become a little different, a little challenged. There's a heart chakra there, and what's under that? Prosperity and sacral chakra. So yeah, I think that this has to do with sacral chakra is the water element and heart chakra is air element. It's like being able to understand the needs of other individuals and how to help them feel empowered and not to to patronize, I want to say. And this is also in the moment reminding me of how sometimes I've noticed this as somebody who identifies as a strong woman, that sometimes the other individuals around me are trying to take care of me by assisting in certain ways and by not having me participate in other things. But honestly, who is anybody to decide if somebody doesn't have what it takes to get in the ring, so to speak, or to sit at the big table? You know, yeah, there's definitely something about that. Underneath this deck, as I pick it up, is Peacock Vibrancy. You're born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life, and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. Let's see if we can get an animal totem here to preside over the reading. Getting a lot of crown energy. Tiger, fire. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. I love that energy. And off the back, B, community. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Those are nice. So you're bringing your full power and potential into a community environment, or you're setting someone up for the community. Maybe you're out in the community. This is reminding me of people who work with other individuals, perhaps as a caretaker, social worker of some sort, working with younger people, older people, those that are needing direction, guidance, connecting people with resources. It looks like you're very resourceful also, because the bee is the one who goes out and travels long distances, gathers everything that the hive needs, right? And then gives it back. So yeah, busy, diligent. So take time to develop your individuality, as we had the peacock on the bottom of the deck, which is independent, unique, and individuated. And then the bee community is that hive mind where we are looking for symbiosis, belonging, and normalcy, looking to blend in. And since one size doesn't fit all, often the bee can talk about the mask or the persona that we must or choose to adopt and adapt to be able to serve in the community. And in that way, I feel like part of the service work is to assist other individuals at becoming their own person. And in this, even though we may appear as the bee, the worker bee to others, deep inside, it seems that there's this tiger fire energy that's wanting to come out in all of your passionate glory, to be bolder, braver, and to call forth those energies so that you can proceed in some type of a way and become your unstoppable self. Under this deck was the fairy magic card, which has come out quite a bit recently. Let's look at empowerment. Showing up, supporting our ability to show up completely and fully, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we're all connected through the same source. Yeah, we're all in this together. So there's a need to recognize and to set things together or put things together. So yeah, even if you have cut your hand in the past, there's definitely something saying that these were just you acclimating, learning. Oh, interesting. So feline just came flipping off the deck. And with that fire energy of tiger, behind tiger is wolf pathfinder for those that are interested. Look at those fiery feline energies. So your passion is your power. And there we go with clarifying empowerment and getting the feline card. So that's definitely, look at the blue coming through almost on the third eye of what I see as the face of this feline. And to me, it seems not to really look like a feline energy from this realm. It's almost like some kind of a headdress. You know how sometimes we'll see different indigenous cultures, shamanic individuals wearing those, the fur of an animal, and you'll see the head of the animal over as a hood, a cloak energy. Yeah, cloaking energy, the persona related to the hive here. And under the deck, when that comes out, we have the birthing card. So we are talking about some type of change, new beginning the last few days. And in the gems, we talked about the moonstone, which helps with the birthing process, symbolically, metaphorically, literally. Thank you for allowing me my water check. My voice gets tinny and strained when I don't take my drink. So I feel like some of this is us really coming into our ability to walk truly with a foot in both realms, the mundane, the earthly, being connected to our community in various ways, whether it's one-to-one groups, online, in physical form. But I just totally lost my train of thought. We're birthing this new belief in our passion, I believe. And so that feline energy is that grace where we no longer feel as threatened. It's like, are they an apex predator, the tiger? Does anything go after the tiger? I'm not sure that it does. So also very African vibes as well with the fur and royalty. Yeah, let's keep going. Anything else for empowerment? Because the feline card seems, and it also sometimes draws in star seed for me with Lyran, I believe is the group. So we'll take a look at these. They all flew out together. Commitment, immunity, integrity, and rejuvenation. Yeah, so this change, rejuvenation, the passion is your power, and you're witnessing your ability to serve in a whole new way. So immunity, I was just looking at it like this, and I was like, community, immunity, community, community, immunity. Okay, so a few things. The whole 2020 debacle coming through. Commitment and immunity is like commitment, community, immunity, community. I know I keep saying it, right? But there's something about that is teasing the senses, teasing my crown chakra, saying, do you get it? Do you get it? And I'm not sure I fully get it. And I think that that's kind of symbolic for where we're at right now. It's like we can see the change. We can feel the difference of how we feel as we start to commit to these new changes, committing to our service, being in a place of integrity, witnessing the transgressions and correcting them and moving forward. witnessing the trespassers, perhaps forgiving, but definitely setting the boundary and the border, the good fence that makes the good neighbor. And in that way, we're able to protect the integrity of our yard and our space and our intellectual property also, with those who want to take all the success and point the finger at us for anything that doesn't work, such as kids, right? Kids can often do that with their parents. We can do that with our parents. And they're also humans. So part of us pulling our power back from that is to say that, yeah, maybe if it seemed that they were 17 feet tall in the past, I recognize that moving forward, I don't need to do that to others, and nobody's going to do that to me again. I'm unassailable, and there's nothing left to prove. So yeah, this recommitment to the community is helping both you surpass the susceptibility to the triggers of the past, as well as the higher vibrational influence literally helps with the immune system resetting. So if you're looking for a return to health, this is a good sign that you're moving forward and that your fire is re-engaged and cleansing your whole body, perhaps with the violet flame or the flames of your passions as you stoke the fires of what matters for you. There's integrity. I see that as the masquerade. I'm hearing the masquerade song from Phantom of the Opera. I don't know if there's any theater folk out there. I'm not necessarily completely a theater individual, but there's something fascinating about various storylines that gain so much airspace over the years. It's a classic. Rejuvenation. It seems to me that this is us getting back out into the community, perhaps. Let's keep moving, Universal love. All right. Universal love. Simplicity. Keep it simple, silly. So simplicity is sometimes not, I want to say the spice of life, right? And how boring is simplicity, but how incredible is it to be not dealing with the complexities that weigh us down into heaviness, into analysis, paralysis, things like that. Keeping it simple is like, I may not be able to win the war with another individual today. I may not be able to jump from where I'm at to the place where I wish that I was. However, with clear and simple steps, I can take that stress off of myself, saying that, I mean, it's an unrealistic expectation, I think, that we're talking about here, and being more loving with ourselves, more forgiving with ourselves. Perhaps we're also being more clear with our words and less complicated and complex in our interrelations with our community, trying to look for not proving anything, but just keeping it on the nice, light, even level. And also in that way, not having anything to hide, not hiding behind defensiveness, however it comes through for you. One more here. Divinity. So in that way too, where there's the lack of complexity, we can also witness a release of resistance in the aura and in our chakra systems in general, as we become more content and peaceful and less go, effort, do, think, go. Then we can relax, and then we can perceive of the nuance. We can perceive of those tiny little consistent messages and inspirations of direction. And I laid that down face up. Fairy magic coming in once again. So fairy magic also is, it's not all about getting lost in indulgence or in a comfort zone. Fairy magic is very, very subtle and can also be the tiny little tricksters that sparkle in the distance and catch our eye when, let's say, we're staring with some type of intensity at an issue, a problem, or a mood, and all of a sudden something catches our eye and we give our attention to it. And it's a redirection. It's an invitation to a redirection. So if somebody irks us, we can redirect our thoughts to thinking, I understand that this individual is probably feeling a little bit defensive or aggressive because of something that they fear losing part of their identity, or they feel like they have to overcompensate or mask something that they don't want me to perceive of them, like the mask on the Phantom. He wore that because he had this disfiguration due to abuse. And often our energy centers can be similar like that, where unbeknownst to us, we're more defensive than we believe. We're more powerful and assertive than we think. And here we are busy believing that we're being victimized when everybody's like, man, that person is so aggressive. I never want to say anything to the contrary. Maybe this is a situation with kids. It's like some parents choose to be more authoritarian, disciplinarian, while others choose to be their child's friend on whatever level that comes through. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be overly indulgent. Sometimes it can be on different healthier levels, So this is coming through here with being in our simplicity and being a healthy, happy guide, and being able to say the old suffering and trauma that I experienced can stop with me, and I can pass along this universal love through my simple little ways and little things and little twinkles in my eye, the way that I can, get my child out of her mood, the way I can get my coworker to giggle when they had a terrible caller on the phone, whatever it might be, right? Let's look at Tantric Journey. So this is the spinning point where we spin off of each other, and we're looking for clues to other individuals, and many of us are trying to use those social cues as clues as to how we can use our power. And sometimes the rhyming is another way that fairy magic, that simple energy of spirit can sometimes kind of get us into a rhythm and to start bringing us up, lifting us up, speaking in little riddles and things. I don't know why. It just sometimes it happens. Okay, that's a little bit of a stack. Underneath we have Celestial. So yes, it's bringing up the our capacity to not get caught up in what it looks like on the earthly level below that wants to be seen, using our voice. Using our voice as a microphone, a speaker for spirit and for other cosmic channelings to come through us in a positive, proactive way, can assist us in setting boundaries, as well as helping and inspiring others, lifting up the spirits of others and self, lifting our spirits, voices, and attention up to spirit from the depths and the darkness. And these three came out over here. Faith, intuition, and music. Didn't I just say music? Very interesting. So it's interesting that if you are also speaking in some type of rhymes, maybe you do need to write a little poetry or a little music, or use your voice to sing when you're perhaps even stressed. Your children will feed off of that stress, however young or old. When somebody is stressed in our environment, partners as well, there's something like, oh, this person's always this way, type of a thing. And if we're always in that darker mood, people can walk on eggshells around us. They will mask their truth, mask their emotions. And there's a rejuvenation also of this partnership as well. So yeah, there's something coming through with that where we can perhaps rejuvenate a situation by using our voice to sing instead of complain, for instance. So if you're in a bad mood, it's hard not to increase those energies when we're stuck in it until we take notice of it and we say, okay, just like the negative self-speak with the lower emotions that want to come forward, we get the choice in the moment. Am I going to keep on ruining my day with those thoughts or not? Using your intuition or some type of music to inspire you forward is going to help in that regard. So consciousness, last messages for the consciousness card. So really cluing in with our heart space here to, instead of joining somebody in a bad mood or into a negative gossip or whatever else, we're using our heart. Oh, Celestial wants to pop out again. Consciousness, celestial consciousness beyond this world. You're perhaps connected with your soul star chakra, bringing in a lot more divine inspiration and thought and alchemy in general. Prayers. You are the answer to somebody's prayers, and you are praying for somebody perhaps that you're trying to reach and elevate and perhaps instruct. Oh, and then we have the sexuality card. So for many of you, this will deal with your own personal intimate partnerships or your thoughts about yourself in that regard, and either bringing your passion forward, bringing your sensual individuality forward, being able to be confident and witness your own charisma and the effect and beauty that you bring to other individuals. And for others, it may also deal with children reaching that age, and if they're trying to be grown up at this teenager age, it's like the parent sees the child, but the child's like, oh, well, here I am. I want to get out there and dress like I see everybody dressing on TV or something. It's like, oh no. Or to use the words that I hear the adults using, oh no, you did not. So anyways, it seems like these issues are coming in for you, and you are looking at setting limits and boundaries and being a positive leader instead of somebody who's like, knocks your kid across the room, such as may have happened to those on the Phantom of the Opera type of life path. It's stopping that type of anger and aggression that comes forward and witnesses the vulnerability and the need for validation and for experimentation with who their identity is becoming. And so setting proper limits with love is definitely coming in, but your prayers are being heard and your example is being emulated.